Ozzy Osbourne stopped a mother from getting arrested. What he did next. If you love unexpected acts of kindness, listen carefully, because what Ozzy Osbourne did for a struggling mother shocked the entire store and made the officers freeze in their tracks. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to Voices of Darkness and like or share this video with your friends. Now, let's begin. The neon lights of the Los Angeles Right-Way supermarket flickered weakly above the rain-soaked street. Evening traffic splashed by in rhythmic waves, headlights carving ghostly shapes into the dark. Inside the store, a young mother named Hannah Pierce stood frozen in the baby products aisle, her trembling hands clinging to a can of infant formula she couldn't afford. She checked her phone again. 0 messages, 0 notifications, 0 hope. Her 8-month-old daughter, Lily, had gone to sleep hungry the night before. Again, her boyfriend, who had promised to be there for them, had disappeared 3 months earlier. Since then, every day had been a storm of impossible decisions: rent or diapers, food or electricity. And tonight she stood at her breaking point. Her chest tightened as she stared at the price tag, $42.99. She didn't have even half that. A security guard at the end of the aisle eyed her suspiciously. She knew she looked nervous. She knew he knew she was thinking about it, and she hated herself for it. But Lily needed to eat. Hannah wiped her eyes, slipping the formula into her worn-out bag. Her heartbeat thundered against the quiet track of the supermarket music. Just walk, Hannah. Don't run. Don't cry. She made her way to the exit, each step feeling like the ground was pulling her backward. She whispered an apology into the void, imagining Lily's tiny face, imagining the guilt she would carry. But when she passed the alarm sensors, beep, 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 the store security gate screamed to life. The guard rushed forward. A cashier pointed. Another person grabbed their phone to record. Hannah froze, her breath trapped in her lungs. "Ma'am, open your bag," the guard barked. "Please," Hannah whispered, voice cracking. "It's for my baby. I'll bring money tomorrow. I just didn't know what else to do." The guard snatched the bag from her. "Step aside. Police have been called. This is shoplifting." Her knees buckled as she gasped for air. She felt the weight of the world crushing her chest. Her daughter's hungry cries, the judgmental stares, the threat of losing everything, even Lily. And then a voice behind him said calmly but firmly, "Put the bag down, mate. I'll take care of it." Everyone turned. Hannah blinked through her tears. Standing by the checkout lane, wearing a long dark coat, round glasses, and his signature wild hair was *** Ozzy Osbourne. Yes, the Ozzy Osbourne. *** the Prince of Darkness himself. The guard straightened. "Sir, this is a store matter." She attempted theft. Ozzy walked forward with a slow, steady gaze, the kind of gaze that made even cameras bow. "Yeah? And I'm paying for it," he said. "And the rest of her groceries. Now step aside." The security guard hesitated. "Sir, it doesn't work like that." Ozzy's eyebrows arched behind his glasses. "Oh, really? Because it looks to me like it works however the hell we want it to work. Unless you want to be on every social media clip tonight, looking like you arrested a starving mother." People around them gasped. Phones were already recording. The manager hurried over, whispering urgently, "Mr. Osbourne, the police are already on the way." "Then I'll talk to them," Ozzy replied. Hannah stared at him in disbelief. Thank you," she stammered. "You don't even know me." Ozzy smiled faintly. "I don't need to know you. I just need to know that baby needs to eat." Tears spilled down her cheeks uncontrollably. The door slid open. 2 police officers walked in. The guard stepped forward to speak, but Ozzy raised a single finger. "I've handled it. There's no crime here. She's leaving with her dignity, and I'm paying for everything." The officers recognized Ozzy immediately, but that wasn't why they backed down. It was a conviction in his voice, the gentleness in his stance, the unmistakable humanity radiating from him. 1 officer nodded. If the store's and pressing charges were good. The manager swallowed. "We are not pressing charges." Ozzy handed her the bag, then added items to the counter: diapers, baby wipes, bottles, soft blankets, snacks, 2 full grocery bags. The bill climbed. $100, $200, $300. He didn't blink. When it was done, he turned to Hannah. "Come on, love. Let's get you home safe." She covered her mouth as a sob escaped her. No one had ever stepped in for her like this. Not like this. Not with so much grace. Not with so much heart. As they walked outside under streetlights, Ozzy gently placed the bags in her car. "Listen," he said softly. "You're not a criminal. You're a mom doing her best. Don't ever forget that." Hannah nodded, tears still falling. "I don't know how to thank you." Ozzy chuckled. "Just make that little girl proud. That's all the thanks I need." She hugged him tightly, something she never imagined she'd do in her life. And for a moment, the world didn't feel dark. For a moment, kindness lit the night like a quiet miracle. Hannah's old silver Honda Civic coughed weakly as she turned the ignition. The engine sputtered, clicked, and then fell silent again, as if even the car was too exhausted to keep going. She covered her face in her hands. "Not tonight. Please, not tonight." Ozzy stood by the passenger side, watching quietly. The parking lot was nearly empty now, the rain easing to a soft drizzle that tapped on the metal roof of the store. "You having trouble, love?" he asked gently. My car does this," she whispered. "Sometimes it starts. Sometimes it doesn't. I guess tonight I'm not that lucky." Ozzy walked around to the front of the car, palms flat on the hood. "Pop it open." She did, feeling embarrassed. This wasn't just a bad night. It felt like the universe had chosen her as the punchline to a cruel joke. She watched Ozzy stare thoughtfully into the engine bay. "You know," he said casually, "I'm not just a singer. I used to be a pretty handy bloke in my younger days." A small laugh escaped her, weak but real. "I thought rock stars never touched anything mechanical." "Rock stars are broke half the time," Ozzy smirked. "Trust me, we learned to fix what we could." He tapped a few cables, pressed a loose battery connector, and looked up at her. "Try it now." She turned the key. The engine roared to life. Hannah gasped in disbelief, a hand flying to her mouth. You fixed it?" Ozzy winked. "Nah, I just reminded it who's boss." She laughed, a sound she hadn't heard from herself in what felt like months. But the smile faded quickly, replaced by a deep, aching sadness. The kind of sadness that lingers long after a crisis ends. Ozzy noticed. He walked to her side of the car, leaned against the door frame, and asked quietly, "Tell me, what's really going on?" Hannah looked down at her hands. The rain cast silver streaks across her jacket. "It's been rough," she said. "Too rough. I lost my job 2 months ago. My mom died last year. Lily's father left. Rent is due next week. And every time I think I'm about to breathe, something else hits me." Her voice cracked. "I feel like I'm drowning, Mr. Osbourne." He placed a comforting hand on her shoulder. "Call me Ozzy." She nodded. "Ozzy, I didn't want to steal anything. I hate myself for even thinking about it. But Lily, she cries herself to sleep some nights. And her breath hitched. I don't want her to grow up hungry." Ozzy took a step back, looking at her with a depth of empathy few had ever seen behind his wild persona. "You know," he began softly, "people think I never struggled, but I've been where you are, love. I've been hungry. I've been broke. I've been lost. And if someone hadn't helped me back then, I don't think I'd be alive today." Hannah stared at him, stunned. "You? But you're Ozzy Osbourne." "Yeah," he chuckled. "But before all that, I was just a kid from Birmingham with holes in my shoes and nothing in my pockets." He looked her straight in the eyes. "And I survived because someone cared enough to help me. So, tonight, I get to be that someone for you." Her eyes filled again, but this time with gratitude. "You already helped," she whispered. "More than you know." Ozzy shook his head slowly. "No, love, I haven't even started." He reached into his coat and pulled out a small notepad. Most people thought Ozzy was scattered, chaotic, but he was always prepared in ways that mattered. "I want to get you in touch with someone," he said. "A friend of mine runs a small charity in Los Angeles. They help single moms get back on their feet. Housing, job training, childcare, the works." Hannah stared at him, stunned. "Ozzy, I can't take charity." It's not charity, he said. It's a hand up, and you deserve one. Lily deserves one. She swallowed hard. Her hands trembled as she accepted the paper. And one more thing, Ozzy said. Where do you live? Echo Park, she replied. About 10 minutes from here. Good, he said. I'm following behind you. With this weather and your car acting up, I'm not letting you drive home alone. Her breath caught in her throat. No one had ever protected her like that. No one. Inside the car, Hannah wiped her eyes again as she started driving. The road glistened beneath the streetlights, and her reflection in the mirror didn't look like a woman defeated anymore. Behind her, Ozzy followed in a sleek black SUV, headlights steady and close. At a red light, she whispered to herself, "Why me? Why tonight?" But deep in her heart, she knew the truth. Sometimes the universe sends someone when you're at your lowest, not to rescue you, but to remind you that you're still worth saving. And for one night, that someone was Ozzy Osbourne. How Ozzy changed more than just one night. The streets narrowed as Hannah drove deeper into Echo Park. Old apartment buildings with peeling paint lined the sidewalks, each window glowing dimly like tired eyes watching the world pass by. Despite the rain, a few people lingered outside, a man smoking under a small awning. Two kids played with a busted scooter, a couple whispering under an umbrella. Hannah's chest tightened as she approached her building. No elevator, cracked stairs, rust on the railing, a place she hated, but had no choice but to call home. She parked the Civic and turned the key to shut it off. The engine sputtered, clicked, and finally went silent. Behind her, Ozzy's SUV pulled in, headlights washing the walls with white light. The door opened, and Ozzy stepped out, adjusting his long coat as droplets tapped his shoulders. "You all right, love?" he asked through the rain. She nodded. I still can't believe you followed me." Ozzy smirked. "Yeah, well, I'm not letting you disappear into a dark building after a night like this." He gathered 2 grocery bags from his SUV, the ones he insisted on adding himself, stuffed with extra items he knew she needed but didn't dare ask for. Together they climbed the narrow staircase, each step groaning under their weight. At the top, Hannah opened the door to her tiny apartment. The moment the door swung open, a soft whimper filled the air. Lily, the little girl, padded out from the bedroom, rubbing her sleepy eyes with tiny fists. Her hair was messy, her onesie old, but her face brightened the instant she saw her mother. "Mama?" Hannah knelt down and scooped her into her arms, pressing her cheek against Lily's soft hair. Tears rolled down her face again, but this time they were warm, hopeful, human. Ozzy watched quietly, something soft and impossibly gentle washing over his expression. For all the madness in his life, the concerts, the fame, the chaos, this moment hit deeper than any crowd ever could. Lily looked at Ozzy, confused. Hannah smiled through her tears. "Lily, sweetheart, this is Ozzy." The toddler blinked. Then, with the courage only children possess, she reached forward, and Ozzy let out a surprised laugh as she grasped his finger. "Well, hello there, little one," he said softly. It was the smallest gesture, but it sealed everything. As the rain drummed against the window, Ozzy helped Hannah arrange the groceries in the tiny kitchen. He placed formula on the counter, diapers in a drawer, food in the fridge that had never looked so full. "I can't accept all this," she whispered. "Yes, you can," Ozzy replied, "because tonight isn't about charity. It's about giving you the chance you deserve." He pulled a business card from his pocket, a matte black card with silver letters. "Call this number tomorrow," he said. "Her name is Margaret. Tell her I sent you. She'll set you up stable job training, affordable housing, even childcare." Hannah's hands trembled as she held it. "You're giving me my life back," she whispered. Ozzy shook his head. "No, love, you're taking it back. I'm just lighting the path." Behind them, Lily toddled around, exploring the bags with tiny, curious hands. She squealed when she found a small teddy bear Ozzy had secretly slipped in. "Bear!" she chirped. Hannah laughed, wiping her tears again. "You got her a toy, too?" Ozzy shrugged. She looked like the kind of girl who needed a friend. Silence settled in the room, warm, safe, healing. The kind of silence broken only when a soul finally breathes after drowning for too long. Hannah looked at Ozzy, trying to memorize every line on his face, every wrinkle carved by years of survival, every piece of kindness he hid behind his chaotic image. "Why did you help me?" she asked softly. Honestly. Ozzy leaned back against the counter, crossing his arms. "Because once someone helped me when I didn't believe I deserved it. And if I can pass that forward, even once, then maybe the world gets just a little less dark." Her eyes sparkled with gratitude. "You made my little girl safe tonight." Ozzy smiled. "And she's going to stay safe. You hear me? You're not alone anymore." He stood up, put on his coat, and headed toward the door. But before leaving, he turned back. "You make that phone call tomorrow. Everything changes from there." "I will," she promised. He nodded, the softest, kindest nod. Then he walked out into the night, disappearing down the stairwell, like a quiet guardian no one saw coming. Hannah held Lily close, tears falling again. But this time, they weren't tears of fear or shame or exhaustion. They were tears of a future she could finally imagine, a future that started tonight, a future sparked by a man the world called the Prince of Darkness, but who shone brighter than anyone she'd ever met. If this emotional story touched your heart, please subscribe to Voices of Darkness and like or share this video with your friends. And if you truly love Ozzy Osbourne, then share this video everywhere and help us reach our 1,000 subscribers target. Now prove your love.